too. Second half, we was able to make some plays, but we still were doing some things that we shouldn't have done and stopping drives and just getting in our own way. But it's something that we can fix. We got a short week this week, so we really got to get in there and be ready to go, and we're gonna get it fixed.
And you mentioned getting in your own way. Obviously, penalties played a big role in this. Was it, from what you could sense, it just a matter of retaliating what UNLV was doing, or being baited, or I guess how would you describe the nature of some of these penalties tonight?
Just being undisciplined. You can get baited in the situation. There's all types of stuff that can happen out there, but you got to maintain your composure. It's football, and there's going to be some high moments when your energy is and you're just flying off the handle a little bit, but you still have to maintain composure, and that's something that we just didn't do in certain situations.
How to characterize your level of frustration right now?
I'm just frustrated because it's when you know that you can execute better than we were and put together two halves like I wish we would have done, and his outcome would have been different. But the situation that we're in the first half, we didn't really help ourselves out, and then came out in the second half and they finally were starting to execute, but it still wasn't enough and just didn't make enough plays. They played a good game.
How do you reinforce discipline this week?
We're just going to keep pounding it into them, just continue to pound it into them. I think they did a good job in the first week. We had 3 penalties, and this is just going to be another guys got to own it. You got to see what you did out there, and did you put your best foot forward, or are you thinking we over me?
Second consecutive game, you fall behind big early. Do you think there's any themes there, constants that have gone into that?
I've been trying to do stuff at practice to help us start fast. Like we do a lot of things at the beginning of practice, so it's just something that we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out.
There was a switch on the offensive line for in the second half. Garrett to the left, Ruben in at right. Was that injury related, or was that performance?
A little bit of both. I think Cortland's leg wasn't 100%, and so we were able to just move Garrett to the left side and put Ruben in on the right.
Earlier this week, you mentioned how that Utah game, there were a lot of close things that you could have done execution-wise. Today seemed like an encapsulation of a lot of that in the second half. With the touchdown that you guys thought you had, but obviously got overturned on the review. Just how do you describe the roller coaster the second half provided?
Well, when I was saying it was close last week, it was a drop pass by Mikey, an overthrow pass like that. That's stuff that's close because if we can catch it, it keeps drives going. It's not the score and what our score was. That was kind of getting played. Like I said, that the game was close, but it's more of the execution. We were close in our execution, and you saw that in the second half. We were able to execute. We weren't able to continue to execute the way that we wanted to, but there were some flashes in there to see, like when this offense is really hitting on all cylinders, we can move the ball, and it's going to be effective. But it's slowly but surely. But I have a lot of new people. I'm not somebody that's going to come up here and give you guys excuses and everything, but I have a lot of new people, and we're still finding ways to come together and really rely on each other, and we're going to continue to build, and it's a long season.
How do you feel about Nico's ability to rally you and kind of take it upon his shoulders to make big plays in the second half?
He's a gamer. He's somebody that he wants to make big plays. He's asking for the ball and asking to be put in certain situations. So I love when you have a quarterback that wants to put it on his shoulders and carry the team to victory. We're just coming up short.
You talked about how the guys had resolve after last week. What did you sense in the locker room a few minutes ago from your guys?
The attention is there. There wasn't. I didn't have to go in there and corral the guys and tell them, hey, stop doing this. And they're standing there looking me right in my face, yes sir, no sir, and understanding what's going on. But it's a 2-half sport. You got to be able to show up for 4 quarters, and we did it for maybe 1 3/4.